Hello and welcome to Edu Leader Speaks by Education World. I'm Reshma. We have with us Dr. Anil Rana. Dr. Anil Rana is the director at MIT of the Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Dr. Anil Rana is an academic leader and former commander in the engineering branch of the Indian Navy with over 3 decades of experience in industry and academia. He holds a PhD in reliability engineering from IIT Bombay and an M.Tech from IIT Delhi. He's also held several senior academic positions, including that of the Associate Dean Research and Professor at Fiji National University, Dean Academics at the Symbiosis Skills in Open University, Pune, and the Dean at Bhartiya Skill Development University, Jaipur. Since February 2021, he's also been serving as the Vice Chancellor of Oriental University, Indore. Welcome, Dr. Rana.
Thank you for having me, madam.
So I think we'll start off by asking you about one of the most recent developments, which is the announcement of the union budget. So first of all, what do you think about the allocation that has been made for education? And secondly, can you tell us if you think there are some areas of neglect and how that can be addressed?
So when we look at the allocation of the budget, I mean, in India, talking in percentage of GDP, generally the allocation has been very low compared to what we have in the US and the China. In their GDP itself is very big. So therefore, the amount that is generally kept aside for especially for research, I would say, is very very high. And why this matters to us is if you want to compete globally today, I think you need advanced lab facilities. You need analytical instrumentation facilities. You need high performance computing facilities. And these are becoming a must in education institutes, especially engineering and science institutions. And if we really want to have very high quality of education and research in our education institute, then we must have good facilities in the institution. We also must develop funding models which allows us to do deep tech research and translation and innovation. I think this is something which is amiss at the moment, and that is something that the government needs to look at very carefully. The second priority area, I would say, is faculty development and the digital learning ecosystem. I think that needs to develop too, because the empowered faculty are very, very crucial, very important to keep all these engineering institutions abreast with the latest advancements. So if the faculty are upgraded with their knowledge, information, and they're upgraded in terms of doing research, cutting edge research, then it certainly percolates down to the students, to the academics, and therefore the student also become industry ready when they graduate and come out of the institute. I would say are the priority areas. Of course, there are many more. And for example, is the national scholarship and study now, pay later kind of models, which are working very fine in many of the countries outside. I think that is something we need to look at very closely.
Okay. Now, if we look at the National Education Policy 2020, it says that there's an aim to transform Indian higher education by boosting the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. Now, how do you think we'll be able to realize this goal?
So we'll have to follow a multi-pronged approach again. I think the first point that I made, the last point I made for the previous question is very, very important. Because we see that students coming from rural area or poor background find they don't have the means to pursue higher education in very good institutes. And therefore, a national scholarship scheme for them, subsidy in tuition fees, or study now, pay later model. I think that is something which can really help them. And in addition to that, we must have flexible and multidisciplinary pathways to education system where somebody, if they have a break in education, they can come back and continue later without fear of any penalty. That is the second point. Third is, of course, tightening up the skill education, the vocational education in the country, because this is very important not only to find employment or have a growth in the economy, but it also helps those students who want to go into the vocational education. right? Today, if you talk about higher education, we have very good institutes, both publicly funded as well as the private universities who are doing some amazing work. But when it comes to vocational education, I think there is a big gap. And if you look at all these vocational education imparting institutes, you will find there is a problem there. Most of
Okay.
them, barring a few, have poor infrastructure, poor facilities, and therefore you find that the students who come out of their these institutes do not do well, and they generally go learn on the job. So initial few years that they are learning on the job, you see a very poor quality output, and that impacts directly into the growth of our country, the economy of the country.
Okay, okay. Now, Indian universities are battling challenges of their own, but also at the background is India opening its doors for foreign universities to set up campuses here. First of all, do you think a level playing field has been created for this?
No, so my frank opinion, I think we do not have a level playing field at the moment.
Okay.
A level playing field would exist if the Indian institutes are also given the kind of an autonomy that these foreign university institutes are finding, both in curricular design as well as hiring international faculty, quality faculty from abroad. I think that is something which is available to them. Plus, most of these universities, we hear the names, we are reading it in the newspaper, they come with very deep pockets. So they have all the means
Mm.
available in terms of funds and also in terms of, I would say, funding mechanisms for pursuing research and hiring of faculties. There, I think something we find amiss. Even the model, if you say at the basic level for education institutions in the country, is most of the private universities are known to be not for profit. And
Mm.
my question is, what happens to the foreign universities? Are you not allowing them to take the funds back to their country? I think that is something which is not at the same level for us as well as the foreign universities. So that is something that we need to look at. I'd be very happy to have a very healthy competition in the country. I think that is all right. But then both the Indian as well as the foreign universities should have a level playing field. And we should have this policy which brings in healthy competition, but does not bring in asymmetry when it comes to
Okay.
education competition. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Also, much like every other field, higher education is also gravitating towards AI introduction.
Yes.
How are you going to ensure that this is integrated into the curriculum and ensure that there's going to be an easy transition?
I think it is an easy transition already. When I talk about my own institute, we don't have AI as a separate standalone subject itself. I would say it's a horizontal layer that cuts across all the engineering disciplines. So you have AI integrated courses available in civil, electrical, mechanical, and many other programs at the moment. We have also created an Intel Unnati Center in a Department of Mechanical Engineering. So that
Okay.
center is curating a lot of these programs for core engineering students, and they learn how to apply these AI ML tools in their own domain. So we discussed a lot of case studies which actually pertain to their own engineering discipline, and with that, the student understand how these needs to be applied to their domain. I think that is what we are doing. Plus, in addition, we're also running a lot of micro credentials and industry certification programs, not necessarily only on AI ML area, but many other advanced areas falling in the core engineering domain itself. And also, we are partnering with the industry experts, and many of the lectures that are being delivered are through the industry experts, adjunct faculty members, professors of practice, as well as visiting and guest lecturers coming from the industry with a lot of experience behind them. So these are helping also students to work on a lot of research projects which we undertake through our centers in centers of excellence. So
Okay.
and AI/ML has become like absolutely common, I would say, in all the programs, and not only engineering, also in the science program. And when we talk of other institutes, especially in the health professions here in MIT, because we have large number of institutes. So there again, you will find a lot of these students taking these courses, them to learn AI ML tools so that they can apply it in their own domain. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you just briefly mentioned about mechanical engineering and one such initiatives. Now, if we look at a trend over the past decade or so, there has been a shift, with students not preferring uh, conventional engineering streams like mechanical and civil engineering. And the trend is more towards computers, robotics, and data science. But these conventional fields still remain essential. Now, how do we reimagine these fields in today's era?
Right now, what we are seeing is, of course, traditional engineering. We say, I would won't like to use the word declining. I would say that it is evolving, because what we are trying to do now is we are trying to bring in this advanced technology area, whether it is digital twin, whether it is AI driven design and simulation, whether it is use of digital manufacturing and other digital tools. So right now we have already gone through a curriculum conclave where we have looked at the curricula, and we have taken very good inputs, not only from the faculty members of reputed institutes within the country, but also faculty members from very reputed institutes outside the country. So they've also
Okay,
given us very good input, and we have integrated a lot of this advanced technology area into our curriculum, and therefore you see now the attraction of these core engineering disciplines has also come back. So many students are now applying for many of these core engineering programs, and uh, barring, I think, one program, we have seen students or the admission numbers going full, whether it is mechanical, whether it is electrical, even civil engineering, chemical engineering.
okay,
You're seeing the students are taking these particular programs because now they find that the advanced technology areas are also integrated into their curriculum, and they also learn about use of digital tools and even sustainability and many other advanced, I say, areas which are coming in the curriculum. They get to learn these and apply in their engineering disciplines. And they also do a lot of minor projects and major projects in these advanced area, which is also allowing us to bring in industry collaborative projects in the program. So many students are attracted towards these projects, and they also undertake research through various centers and centers of excellence.
okay, okay, okay. So we'll wind up by asking you one last question. What's that one book on education you recommend that all educators pick up and read?
Oh, okay. If you talk only about education, I would say Carol Dweck, Mindset. I think this is a book which is really very good.
Okay, okay. All right. This brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Rana.
My pleasure.